Hey everyone, this evening I was going to make a steak and some tater tots for my husband. Right there I have my trays for my air fryer. I just covered them with some aluminum foil so that I could keep them clean while I'm making the steak. Right here I have a piece of steak. I forgot which one it is, but we cut it off of a chuck roll. And so as you can see here, I'm piercing it with a fork just to get it tender. And then I sprinkle salt all over the top of it to help tenderize it and give it a bit of flavor. Flipping it over and putting salt on both sides of the steak. There we go. And I let it set with the salt on the steak for probably about 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to start working on getting the tater tots ready. These are just frozen Ore-Ida tater tots, and I put them in my air fryer on air fry, which is at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. As you can see there. And they're on air fry. Now I'm going to open up my air fryer, and my tots are done. They're very nice and crispy. I love my air fryer to death. Like it makes it so easy for me to just cook small batches of meals. So I don't have to heat up my kitchen with an oven. Next, you can see the steak is all glistening because the salt has penetrated in. I'm just patting the steak dry here on both sides, and I'm trying to wipe up some of that excess moisture on the plate to try and keep the steak dry so it can get a good crust. Now, my husband likes his steaks very well seasoned, so this is some Kinder's buttery steak seasoning that I am literally shaking all over this steak from end to end, side to side. And I know for some it may seem like a lot, but this is the way my husband likes his steak. Patting it in with the fork, trying to press it in and really get the seasoning into the steak. Seasoning both sides very well. And in the meantime, I'm getting my air fryer ready for the steak. Now I'm put the tray in, and it's on steak at 500 degrees. It takes a while to preheat, and while it's preheating, I'm warming the tray in the oven. So once it's finished preheating, I just open it up, I take the tray out, and then I put the steak on there. Usually you'll hear a sizzle, which is really good. Lets me know that the pan is very hot. And right there you can see I'm just getting the steak, putting it on the tray. Then it goes back into the air fryer. And it cooks for about 6 minutes per side. Now make sure it's on the lower level of your air fryer, because if you put it up too high, it will burn, it will overcook. Now as you can see here, this is the steak in the air fryer, and I have it on the lower level there. And then I just press the start button, and there it goes. It's on 500 for about 12 minutes. This is just a glimpse of how the steak is cooking in the air fryer. You can see it crisping on the edges and bubbling up. After that, after 6 minutes, I take it out, and then I flip it over. and then put butter on it. Now I just slide this pat, oh, it's a very large pat. I just cut down the side of the stick of butter and just put it on top of the steak and then let that melt across the top of the steak when I put it back in the air fryer. There you go. Back in the air fryer it goes. As you can see, it's at 5 minutes and 55 seconds. That was about halfway through. Then I press start again. And you can see the butter melting all down the side of the steak. The house smelled amazing while this was cooking. And this is the fastest way I found to make a steak for my husband. Typically, you would put it in a cast iron on the stove, but for some reason, every time I try and do it, I literally smoke myself out of my house. And so I told him I will never be cooking a steak in the cast iron in my kitchen again. This is it. That's how we figured out the air fryer way. Now you can see right here, we're just taking the steak out of the air fryer and I set it over there on a cutting board, just letting it rest for a few minutes while I get the rest of the plate ready. Now, as you can see here, we've got the tater tots. They're all crispy. My husband wanted some sour cream on them. And I did put these tater tots back in the air fryer. I missed that part for probably about 3 or 4 minutes to warm them up. Now I put some sour cream on them. And then right there next to the plate, I have some cheese, and that is nacho cheese. I just bought a huge container of nacho cheese cups, and we never used them for anything. So I decided to start putting them on top of like vegetables and fries and tater tots. I just heated this up in the microwave to get it, loose like that for maybe like 30 seconds, and I'm just spooning that over top of the tater tots. There you go. Trying to get most of it out to put on top of the tater tots. And then I just use the back of my spoon to sort of spread everything out evenly so that it's not like big globs of cheese. But with it being heated up, it sort of pours pretty well. There you go. Then next I made up some bacon bits. I just had a couple slices of bacon that I fried up, and then I'm just going to put that on top of the tater tots. I just cut the bacon up with some scissors, fried it in a pan, got it nice and crispy, and just put it on top. Now I am just going to get the steak and put it on the plate alongside the tater tots. My husband was asking me a question there, so I was answering him. Yeah, there we go. And all that juice is from the butter melting across the top of the steak on that tray right there. So then I just pick the pan up and pour the melted butter and seasonings and meat juice all over top of the steak. Which gives it a great flavor. There we go. And now now we are done. So this is what I made for my husband for my pantry meal. It's steak and tater tots, and well, steak and loaded tater tots. And he ate every bit of it.